We are live, we are live, guys. Welcome, guys. We are here today with the NANGOMA youths, and I am handing over the floor to your host.
Hello. Hello. Mr. Collins, sir.
Yes, we are around, Mr. Eric. We are live. We are live. You can just continue, Mr. Eric.
All right. They are just three participants. I wanted to say it on Facebook. Like I see how many people have started watching it. I haven't seen the notification. Okay, Madam Kumi. All right. You are welcome, viewers. You are welcome. Thank you very much. Where I am right now, there is no power. So as we are waiting for power for me to switch on to the video, I'm sure we can welcome each other. How has been your day? And I recognize the presence of the viewers. Mr. Ragi, Charlie there. We are voice of the voiceless. Thank you very much, sir. We really appreciate for commenting, the first comment that we have received. I'm encouraging each and every person there who is watching live on Facebook. May you share in different groups where you belong, because we need a lot of people to watch. We are supposed to talk about something very important. And may you also remember to comment. Your comments are always awesome. Your comments are always upbuilding, and your comments are very important to the discussion that we're always having. So before we start our meeting, I would love to invite members of the panel who belong to NANGOMA Foundation for them to say something before we start the meeting. On the panel today, I have got Mr. Musa and Mr. Ragi Charlie. So, Mr. Musa, may you greet our viewers out there, and you are supposed to say one or two things before we start. Thank
you. Good evening, viewers, and good evening, the panel. We are the youths and we are the power. The youths are the foundation of the development of every country. And we are glad to have you on board to get to listen to our discussion today at the Youth of NANGOMA Foundation. And hope we want you to be comfortable and also comment and as well as share so that everyone can be on board and all of us, we can get to interact and discuss issues that really matters and also issues that brings development in our country. Over to you, Mr. Eric.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Musa. And on the panel again, I've got Mr. Ragi Charlie. Mr. Ragi Charlie, would you mind greeting the viewers out there, and also one of the words of encouragement as they are still watching us live tonight? The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Eric. Good evening, viewers. Good evening, Zambia. Good evening, Mr. Eric. Good evening, viewers. Good evening, Zambia. Thank you so much. The NANGOMA organization. We are here to share ideas and to inform the nation that we are the future president, we are the future leaders. Thank you so much, Mr. Eric.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate. As we are still waiting for other members to join our conversation tonight, we have got something very important to discuss today, and the topic is about the cooperatives which are supposed to be formed, among other issues that we're supposed to talk about. Now, we are supposed to talk about the procedure on how things are done, because many of us do not know what is taking place in these offices concerning one having to join one of the cooperatives, or maybe just registering one of the cooperatives. So that is going to be the discussion for today. Educating each other on how to open a cooperative. And I have some notes here that we are supposed to discuss concerning the same thing. And out there, the viewers who are listening right now, who are paying attention, and every person who is going to write the comments. The comments are very important, and from time to time, I've also been telling people to say, if you want to join a cooperative, you can just drop a comment such that we are supposed to consider you. Maybe we can connect you to someone, or maybe to one of the cooperatives which have already been formed after you meet the requirements which these cooperatives are going to tell you. So I'm encouraging each and every person to drop your comments if you're interested to join these cooperatives. It's very important for all of us to join, and it's really very important for every person to find a place in one of these cooperatives, because if we are not going to find any of these positions, then we are going to lose out. The empowerment is not going to find us whilst we are seated, meaning that we are supposed to take a first step in order for these empowerments to find us in the groups that are going to be recognized. Remember, the youth empowerment is only going to be given to the districts where a cooperative has been registered. So if we do not belong to a certain cooperative, it will be very difficult for us to get the funding. I think I should repeat that. It is going to be very difficult as an individual to get a funding, or maybe an empowerment as an individual, if you don't have a cooperative. So it's very important, viewers out there and the members on the panel, to belong to these cooperatives. So before I start, I have a question which I'm going to pose to everyone, and these questions goes to the members of the panel who are on the panel right now, Mr. Ragi, Mr. Musa, and others. So the question is, what are the procedures? I know I have some documents here which are telling us the procedures, but before, maybe some of us, we have some ideas on how to go about it, such that maybe we correct each other in case someone out there doesn't know. What are some of the procedures to register a cooperative? Mr. Musa, sir, the panel, or the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Mr. Eric. Okay, I am not much sure over the matter, but when I recall in the back days, we used to be encouraged to say, if you want to get any empowerment from the government, you have to be in a certain number, which I don't know, or maybe it would be maybe 10 or 12, I don't know. Then you come up with an idea, and you have documented, should be documented, written, and also you should have your particulars like NRC, the photocopy of your NRCs, and also it could be maybe driving licenses as well as the passport. Then you power them together with a document that represents your constituents, as well as which represents your MP, the area where you're coming from, the town, and as well as the idea which you want the government to help you. That's what I was being told in the past, previous governments that we used to have in the past, though people used to apply, but they were not being picked. Even the document were not being picked, but they used to apply. That's what they used to do. I don't know what your files are telling you there, Mr. Eric.
Thank you very much, sir, for that wonderful explanation. I really appreciate. Remain in one. Am I audible enough?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Mr. Raggi, the floor is yours, sir. The question is the same. What are the procedures to register a cooperative?
Thank you once more, Mr. Eric. If you want to register a cooperative, you have to be in numbers of people, whereby after maybe you are in number of 20, you have to photocopy your NRC, you certify, and then after that, there are certain procedures where someone has to follow. And those procedures, we'll hear them from you, sir, Mr. Eric. That's what I know about registering. But a lot of information is you, Mr. Eric. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate. Coming back to the question, how do we register a cooperative? How do we register a cooperative? First of all, I will go through the documents, or maybe the things required for a group of people, not less than 10, to register a cooperative. So as I'm trying to go through these instructions, or maybe these guidelines, I want everyone out there to get, I'm speaking slowly today because I don't want people to miss out. I don't want people to miss out the information. So I'll just be very, very particular when it comes to speaking. I want to be speaking slowly such that a person is supposed to get what I'm saying. Is it okay there, gentlemen?
Yeah, it's okay so that we can able to understand, sir.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so the first thing which is needed, number one, it is first stand by doing a name search by PACRA. That is the first procedure. Doing a name search with PACRA at the Office of Registrar of Cooperatives. Once the name has cleared, a 10 kwacha is supposed to be deposited at Invest Trust Bank, Mulungushi House branch, in order to keep the name that has been proposed. The following document.
Brought her to the hospital before she was taken from me.
Hello.
I didn't know what to do anymore. We just saw
Kindly, Mr. Galaxy, kindly mute your mic.
it worries me how close she is to us.
Mr. Galaxy, mute your mic.
We don't want to live a life without her. What can we do about this tree?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Galaxy84. I really appreciate for the kind gesture that you showed. All right. So for those who are registering within Lusaka, where you're supposed to make this deposit of a 10 kwacha through Invest Trust Bank, it is by Mulungushi House branch. That is Invest Trust Bank, not any other bank, no. So a 10 kwacha, an amount of 10 kwacha just, or 10 kwacha only, should be deposited at Invest Trust Mulungushi House branch. That is the first procedure. Name search by PACRA. And where to register, or maybe where to do the name search, is by the Office of the Registrar. Right? The second procedure is going to deposit. When you deposit, it means that when you deposit this 10 kwacha, it means you are keeping the name. You are telling them to say this name, if a person comes, let it show or reflect in these registrar of cooperatives to say this name has already been captured. If you haven't paid for it and if the name is there, is not there, another person is going to come and pick this name if you haven't deposited a 10 kwacha. Am I clear there? Or are you cleared? Any question from the first point? Any question from the first point?
Okay. When you pay that 10 kwacha, when the name has been captured, what would be the next? Is there any other amount required to be paid apart from 10 kwacha? Is there any other amount?
That's where I'm coming to. That's where I'm coming to. I will explain. So that's the first point. That's the reason why I was asking that any person from the first point there, such that I have to go to the other point.
What about if paying, they just want direct from the bank, or maybe they are at the office, at their office, you can able to pay and give you the receipt?
No, they are advising that a person should pay by the bank, through the bank, and you bring the deposit slip.
Okay.
Sure.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome. So, coming to the second point. The second point on the registration of a cooperative, the instructions are all the people who are supposed to register the cooperatives, they are supposed to be more than, not less than 10 individuals. 5 are supposed to be board members, like directors of the programs that you're doing. 5 of them, and they should be able to sign a certain document among the documents that they give under the application form. So this is now when you go to Kwacha House. That is if you're registering the cooperative within Lusaka, you are supposed to register through the Kwacha House. There's a department specifically which is talking about registration, or maybe which is responsible, the advice and everything that you're supposed to do, the instructions. But when you go there, you're going to find a lot of people. So it's good when you get these instructions right now, and there are some forms which they give when you go that side. So here, this is where now the work starts. The work starts from here, and this is now where money is needed, not to pay them there, but to do the photocopies of each and every document that you're supposed to produce. Just a moment. The photocopies of these should be made in 3 copies each. Meaning that if, for instance, if Mr. Musa, you have your NRC, because one of the documents is your NRC. If you have brought an NRC, it's supposed to be made in 3 copies. 1 NRC from an individual. It's supposed to be made in 3 copies, meaning that 3 multiplied by 10. Who can find the mathematics there? 3 multiplied by 10, it's 30 copies, right?
Yes.
For all the 10 members of the cooperative, it should be made 10 photocopies of NRCs. Another set of 10 copies of the application form. So there is a particular application form which they give. There are 3 forms which they're supposed to be photocopied. One, it is called an application form. Number 2, it is called a bylaws. This is having 20 pages, meaning that 20 pages, you're supposed to photocopy them in 3 until all the 20 pages have been met. Is it clear there? The application
Yes,
form.
sir. Yes, sir. We are getting you, sir. We are just writing down some points here.
The application form, it is 1 leaf. The application form, it is 1 leaf. And then there is what we call a bylaw, bylaws, where you are supposed to indicate the name of the cooperative and you are supposed to edit it, because the name which is there, it is the name of the ones who invented a particular cooperative which was given to them, those who are giving that bylaws document. So apart from that, you are supposed to make these copies again into 3, meaning that 20 pages multiplied by 3. You're supposed to find the mathematics there on your own. So this is where now money is spent. This is where now money is spent. Apart from that, we come to membership list. There is a form which is given, it's 1 leaf, where you write the members of this particular cooperative. This document is given when you go there by Kwacha House. They are going to advise, but it should be filled with all the names of the people who are part of the cooperative. So it is structured in a way that the first name, or maybe the first is the number 1 up to 10, or it can even be more. Numbers from 1 until 10, you are supposed to indicate those who are responsible in writing the names. And then the second row, it is the name and the first name and the last name, meaning if Mr. Raggi is Mr. Raggi Charlie, Mr. Raggi Charlie is supposed to be written first name and then the second name. Numbers, the second column is gender. Is Mr. Raggi a male or female? So you are supposed to indicate by putting the initials there. The third column is the NRC number for Mr. Raggi or Mr. Musa. Number 4 column, there is membership fee. It should be indicated for a person to be part of your cooperative, how much is needed. Am I audible enough, gentlemen, there?
Yes, sir, we are getting you.
Thank you very much. So that is the 4th column where it shows the membership fee. The membership fee, it should be discussed within the board members, because when the board members put a price for the membership fee, it should be final. There is no any other person. If a person comes today to say, I want to join your cooperative, you tell them to say, if you want to be a member, this is how much you're supposed to contribute in order for you to be considered as a member. But that means that a person is joining a group for him or her to be part of a cooperative. But there is also another particular column which now makes this person official when they pay about the shares that they have in this cooperative. So a person is only fully qualified to be called a member when this person pays a share capital, meaning that membership fee, it is another column of the money that is that an individual is supposed to contribute. And then there is also money called share capital. These are the shares, because as a member of a cooperative, you're supposed to buy shares in the cooperative for you to know, or maybe for you to qualify to be a fully functional member. You can pay a membership fee, but membership fee is not going to guarantee you for you to have benefits, because a cooperative, it is a profit-making corporation of notable people who have joined this corporation. But a person is having to benefit any profit which comes through the corporation when he or she pays the share capital. So as board members, you're supposed to agree how much money, or maybe how much share capital is supposed to be given for a person to buy shares. And the full share capital, or maybe the full share, the shares of a person, every person is entitled to 10 shares out of 100%. So if members of the group are 10, meaning that every person is entitled to 10 shares, because they are 100% of shares. So every person is entitled to buy shares according to the agreed amount of money. But every person is entitled to have 10% of shares, because the percentage of shares in the cooperative, they are 100%, meaning that you're supposed to divide by 10. Any question there? Any question that a person should be, or maybe a person has, for clarity's sake, for clarifications? If you're not clear, you can just tell me. I explain more on the shares there. Mr. Fred, thank you very much. Mr. Fred MP, you can go ahead, sir. The floor is yours.
Good evening, Mr. Anton.
Good evening. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I think just my request that maybe, I don't know if you can share the notes that you are presenting so that we are able to read on our own. And another request is some of us who are yet to be in the business, but we have intentions. I was suggesting that maybe if you can help us through the process of coming up with the cooperatives, and also helping us to open up our company businesses. I don't know if that is okay with you.
That is very much okay with me. That is very much okay with me. I don't have any problem to do that. And okay, concerning me sharing the notes, I can't share the notes right now. This is I don't have power where I am right now, so I'm just right. Using. Yes. So if you want to have the shares, or maybe the copies of the of what the documents that I'm presenting right now, you can inbox, or maybe you can ask the number for Mr. Raggi. Mr. Raggi, Charlie, I'm sure is going to advise what is whatever is necessary for this thing.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. Otherwise, we are really enjoying your presentation. It's really helping.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other question from the panel? All right, so straight away, I'll be going into the last column on the membership list. The last column is where each and every person who has been indicated, or maybe who has been included on the membership list form, is supposed to sign against his name. Yeah. If Mr. Musa, with his NRC number, with his gender and membership fee, inclusive the capital share, has been filled on all these blank spaces, then he's supposed to sign for himself to say, I have paid a membership fee and I have also paid the capital share. My NRC number is ABCD, I am a person, whether male or female. My name is so, 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 on number so, so, so. So I have confirmed all these details are mine and I have done the confirmation. So I'm signing, meaning the last column is supposed to be having a signature of these particular members who are going to be included on the membership list. Is it clear there, gentlemen?
Very clear, sir.
It is.
As far
Yeah, it is
we are
clear,
following.
Mr. Anthony. It's clear.
If it is clear, allow me to proceed to another column. I proceed to another column there, which is membership list, which is the list of the complete membership of the cooperative. You are supposed to make copies of this membership list again into 3 copies, meaning that you're supposed to photocopy them, 3 of them, and then you put them into different files. The first file you are going to leave it by the registrar offices, by Kwacha House if you are registering within Lusaka. The second file you're supposed to leave it by PACRA as you are waiting for the certificates to be out. The third file you are supposed to keep as board members for that particular cooperative. So meaning that the registrar of cooperatives needs to have 1 leaf of membership list form, 1 photocopy of your NRC for 10 individuals, and the other documents that I'm about to disclose, which is also the bylaws. It needs to have also 1 copy in their file. And another, or maybe the same thing has to happen to the file which is supposed to be taken to PACRA. The information is supposed to be the same. The same thing has to be in your file as board members, those 10 board members who are signing against their names and against their shares and against their membership fee. You also need to have the same and the similar information on these 3 files. Apart from that, you are supposed to attach the minutes from the previous meeting that you had. You're supposed to attach the previous minutes from the previous meeting that you had. You can just select one of the minutes that what were the things that you are discussing concerning your cooperative. So you're supposed to pick one of the minutes which are very important to you that you can attach to these files, the 3 files that I'm talking about. Make sure you need to put each copy in those files. I'm saying 3 copies because we need to, you need to create 3 particular copies for each file. You need to put 1 document in each of these 3 files, meaning that the file which the cooperative, the file that you're supposed to keep as a cooperative, you need to have all the 10 NRCs to be attached to that particular file. 10 NRCs to the registrar of the cooperatives, 10 NRCs to the office for PACRA, where you've gone for verification. This is how the documents are supposed to be documented. Coming back to the bylaws or the constitution of the cooperative. I remember in the beginning I've mentioned that the bylaws these are the a constitution which has been edited, or maybe which was designed by the registrar of cooperatives. So the only thing that you have to do is you need to edit your name. You need to edit your name from the same bylaws which is going to be given. It could be you can get it from them through a flash or maybe a laptop, or maybe you can get a hard copy and then you go by the stationery, they edit it for you by putting a name of your choice. After you verified from PACRA there, and then when you are done, you need to make 3 copies. One to put in the file that you're going to leave by the registrar of cooperatives. One of these bylaws you're supposed to put in the file that you as a cooperative you're going to keep for future use. Another one, it is a document, the same bylaws which you are going to get and surrender to PACRA for as you are waiting for the certificates to be given to you as a cooperative. Is it clear again on that point? I need confirmation, gentlemen.
Mr. Anton, sir.
Yes, sir, Mr. Fred.
Yeah, your presentation is really good. Now, I just wanted to find out on the where you mentioned that the constitution of the cooperative, it's already there with the registrar.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, so meaning that these constitutions are they the same to all the cooperatives, or they differ in terms of how these cooperatives, what they will be doing, or it's just the same regardless of the name of your cooperative?
No, actually, the constitution, it is a document. Let me just get the copy. I present it nicely to you. I don't want you to be misled, my brother. I don't want you to be misled. I want you to get it so clearly that when you go to their offices, if they ask you, or maybe when you're going to submit, it's just 100% thing without any problems, all right? Okay. I don't have power here, and it seems to be very, very difficult for me to have. I'm using touch. All right. Okay. So what I'm talking about right now, it is the bylaws. This is the document which has been designed. Okay, it has been designed in a way that the information, or maybe the constitution, like it's a constitution of Zambia. A constitution of Zambia, there is a specific information that each and every citizen, regardless of the language and everything, you are supposed to read. So it is just an interpretation. It doesn't really tell you to say, okay, the specific project that you're supposed to do, it's A, B, C, D. No. When you are given that, the bylaws or the constitution, you are told to say you are supposed to edit it and put exactly what you're supposed to do. Meaning that you're supposed to change the objectives. The objectives which they have and the objectives that you have, they are supposed not to be similar, because you might find that the objectives that you have, it is telling you to say you're supposed to do a project in fish farming. And then maybe they are talking about just farming, giving fertilizers to the farmers. Maybe, for instance, that's what they do. So because them in their constitution, it is written to say they are going to be giving fertilizers to the farmers. You don't have to go with that. But as a result, you need to edit it in a way that it suits the project that you're doing concerning fish farming. If it is orange farming, or maybe if it is banana farming or anything that you feel to say it is suitable to the cooperative that you have. So you are supposed to edit it like that, but not producing, because why they've done this is because of the challenges concerning the writing of the business proposal. So this constitution, or maybe the bylaws, it is also acting as one of the business proposals, because the business proposals, it's very difficult for some of these people to write it. One, it's because other people, they don't have a knowledge on how to go on writing the business proposal. Number two, it's because they don't really understand when they are told to say, go and write a business proposal, to be in line with the standard on how that business proposal is supposed to be written. So they've just simplified it to say, we are going to help you by giving you the already existing bylaws, and then you just change the content there where you see necessary to say you're supposed to change in this area or maybe in this column, and more especially concerning the names, the name of the organization, I mean the cooperative, I mean. Is it understood there, Mr. Fred?
Well explained, sir. I really appreciate your knowledge. Thank you.
Any question? Mr. Musa, are you there, sir?
I'm around, I'm listening, and I'm having copy written.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Mr. Ragi, sir, are you there?
I think he has left. He's not around.
Okay, all right. So straight away, I'm going into the recommendation letter. The recommendation letter. This recommendation letter, it is also one of the documents which are supposed to be given to the cooperative which has got interest to register with the registration of cooperatives, the registrar of cooperatives. So upon filling or upon meeting all the standards requirement for you to be registered as a cooperative, you present all the 3 necessary documents, inclusive the forms which they're going to give you. The office of the registrar of cooperatives, it is going to produce a recommendation letter to recommend you to PACRA and tell them, putting up a signature and a date stamp to confirm that you have been approved by the registrar of cooperatives in order for you to get your certificates, of which these certificates you are supposed to wait for 14 days. For instance, if these documents that I was talking about, they've been submitted today on 1st of November, you are supposed to get your certificates after 14 days, meaning that on 14th of this month, you're supposed to get your certificates from PACRA for a cooperative. Then from there, you are now supposed to go into these relevant offices, and for you to look for your donors, if you are going to manage, for you to look for them such that they are supposed to be funding the project or maybe the cooperative of your choice. So this recommendation letter will only be collected once the 3 folders have been made. I'm supposed to repeat that. The recommendation letter, it is going to be given from the registrar of cooperatives. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We are
Yes.
around.
Okay, I'm having a little bit of network challenge here. I'm sorry for that. Okay.
Yes,
So
you are
I
breaking.
was saying the recommendation letter will only be given to a cooperative to take to PACRA once the 3 folders have been made. Even if it's your folder, the one that you're supposed to remain with, it is supposed to be with you. But you're supposed to show them from the from the office of registrar to say these are the documents that we have put in place. This is the folder which is going to be with us here, because they're supposed to put a date stamp there. And this is also a folder which you, as the registrar of cooperatives, you are supposed to remain with, so get yours. And this one as well, we are supposed to take to PACRA. Once that has been done, it means together with the 3 folders and the deposit slip from Invest Trust, will then be submitted at PACRA, at the Office of Registrar of Cooperatives, to process the certificates. Any question, gentlemen? Any questions?
So far, so good. We have understood. We are for personally, I've followed you, and I'm writing down what you are saying, and I'm still going to ask you more questions first. You have to finish all the notes that you have there, so that we can have a proper glimpse of what we're talking about here.
Okay. I want to see the comments, but I'm failing to see the comments on WhatsApp, or I mean on Facebook. I don't know why. Madam Pumi, ma'am.
Oh, she's busy. She's busy preparing herself.
I'm here, I'm listening. You guys are doing great. I'm doing my work and listening.
I can't see the page on Facebook. I'm having some challenges. I want to read some comments here.
The page is
okay, just hold on.
Just from there. Mr. Stanton.
Yes, sir.
I don't know even what to say. I read, maybe just it's in line with what you are saying, but maybe just I'll divert a little bit. Yes, yes. Cooperatives. So you mean you can only register as a cooperative of 10 people or 5, or it's just mandatory that it must be 10 people only?
The minimum should be 10, not less than 10. The minimum should be 10, but you can be 300, you can be 500, you can be 1,000, depending on the memorandum and the understanding that you put in place as a cooperative.
Okay.
Yes, but the minimum should be 10, not less than 10.
Now suppose you want to, in case you want to run maybe a studio, is that also can be in a cooperative form?
Yes, because depending on what you're supposed to be doing in the studio. If you want to attract funding from different members of society.
Okay.
If you want to attract funding, because people are only going to be interested to fund you if you start a particular project and then you areas, like maybe they are supposed to help you. How do you expect them to help you? Because if they see like maybe it's a company on its own, it means that you and the family are the only ones who are going to benefit out of that.
Exactly.
So Would you mind you? Okay. So I was saying, for other people to fund, or maybe for the donors to give a solution, or maybe for the empowerment to follow up. Or to follow
Madam,
big feedback.
You can go ahead. You can go ahead, Brother Eric. You can go ahead.
For a cooperative, I mean, for individuals to be funded, it's very difficult, because if you register it as a company, you can just go by PACRA, and it won't require you to go by registrar of cooperatives. You can just go there straight to go and register your company by PACRA, and then you'll be done everything with PACRA. But if you want to register a cooperative, you're supposed to pass through the registrar of cooperatives, meaning that when you register a cooperative, it means there are a lot of people who are going to be benefiting, and a lot of people are going to be willing to buy shares. Maybe one person who is supposed to have 10 shares, he has agreed with other people to say, okay, me, I'm going to buy just 2 shares in my shares because I qualify to buy 10 shares in a cooperative. So being a member, and I've also paid a membership fee, I'm going to give you 2 shares. I'm also going to give another person 2 shares to make 10 shares. So you find that a person who is having 10 shares might also put other people to be 5 of them. They just share 2 to make 10 shares. But if you can manage as an individual, you can have 10 shares on your own, depending on how much price have you put for the shares in that particular cooperative. So those who are going to be 5 under one person, it means they have rights for them to claim their shares through the person who has been affiliated as a board member.
Thank you.
Is it okay there?
Very correct, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So, Mr. Chair,
yes,
to read
please.
the comments on Facebook, you need another device. So somebody else on the panel can go to their Facebook and read comments.
Thank you very much. I'm sure, Mr. Musa, you can help me to do that if you are able to do that.
Okay, let me try to check if I can able to see some comments from the Facebook. While I'm still checking, you can proceed. Let me just try to check.
I'm there already. I've used another phone. I'm having 2, unfortunately, or fortunately, let me say that. So on Facebook, the first comment was coming from Mr. Raggi, who is also